You're watching WUFT TV News.
This election year, we're taking extra time each Tuesday for political news, big and small.
Rochelle Aline joins us now. Rochelle?
All right, well today, guys, we're going to talk about the downfall of a New Orleans mayor and much more. But first, we'll take a look at what's going on in Washington. This week marks the 5-year anniversary of the controversial American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. The nearly $800 billion stimulus bill was intended to put many Americans back to work. But NBC's Danielle Lee shows us that 5 years later, the economy is still a top concern for Americans.
Flashback 5 years to President Obama just 1 month in office, signing the Recovery Act into law.
The beginning of what we need to do to create jobs for Americans scrambling in the wake of layoffs.
Present day, the White House is celebrating its success, rounding up mayors to speak in an official video.
It stopped the hemorrhaging. It gave us hope. It put people back to work.
This White House report says the stimulus created 1.6 million jobs a year for 4 years and avoided a second Great Depression. But much of America still calls the economy and unemployment their top concern.
There's so many obstacles and things to go through to just survive every day.
I think people expected a bit of an upturn, and it's been quite the opposite.
Republicans are attacking the act, which was passed despite their objections. House Speaker John Boehner is calling it a classic case of big promises and big spending with little results. Republicans say 5 years since the act, wages are down and prices are up, admitting it's no wonder Americans lack confidence in the economy. In Washington, I'm Danielle Lee, NBC News.
Today, President Obama spoke about the economy at a Maryland grocery store distribution center. He talked about new fuel efficiency standards, saying tougher rules for truck fleets would save retailers on fuel costs, meaning savings that they could pass along to consumers. After deliberating for more than 6 hours, a jury has found former New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin guilty on corruption charges. The two-term Democrat was convicted on 20 of 21 counts, ranging from conspiracy to filing a false tax return. Nagin was indicted back in January of 2013 for accepting bribes and free trips from contractors in exchange for helping them to get work while he was in office. Nagin could face up to 20 years in prison. And today, the Florida Senate moved one step closer to finalizing a plan to lower costs in the Florida prepaid program. The Senate Education Committee unanimously approved a bill to revamp the formula used to determine how much families will pay for the future tuition and fees for their children. 20,000 families could also see refunds totaling about $50 million. And the Florida House Education Appropriations Subcommittee was urged today to revamp the model for performance funding for state universities. You can think of it as bonus money designed to reward schools that meet benchmarks related to things such as graduation rates and grads finding good jobs in the state. Additional factors may be added to the formula, and the subcommittee is sorting through what that could mean for schools and the students.
So, Rochelle, how much of an issue will the stimulus be for the economy, or at least in terms of the upcoming midterm elections?
Right now, it's up in the air. You know, in Florida, we've had quite a few lawmakers come out against it, but we're not really sure what the impact it's going to have on the upcoming elections.
Well, thanks, Rochelle.
Thank you.